Alrighty, Unit 1, Lesson 11. Okay, Skills Maintenance is page 28 in your workbook. Go ahead, pause this video, and work on that page. Alright, so for Skills Maintenance today, we are adding and subtracting decimals and then ordering them from least to greatest. So for that first one, okay, whenever we're adding or subtracting decimals, the thing we need to make sure to do is line up that decimal so that our place values are lined up as well. So when I go ahead and do this one, 2.37, okay, I need to make sure to line up those decimals as well. That way my tenths place is lined up, hundredths, thousandths, however many decimal places it goes out. So 1.778. And then from there, we can fill in some zeros there. Okay, we're not changing the value of those numbers at all, just helping us with our place values. Okay, so then go ahead adding those up. 8, 14, carry that 1. Get 19, carry that 1, 6, 7, 8. And that decimal goes in the same place. Okay, so 8.948. And then our other part of those direction was to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, so we got 9 here and the 4. 4 tells us to stay the same. So in this case, our answer is 8.9. Okay, so then for the following problems, I'm gonna write the answers in, so make sure that you get these correct. For this one, it was 73.7 when we round to that tenths place. 110.9, 1.1, not 9, 1.1, and then finally 923.6. Okay, so follow that same method we did with number 1. Line up those decimals, then their place value should be lined up as well. Add or subtract whatever the problem is. Okay, so then ordering our numbers again. Now, always look at the whole number first. Okay, 203. If we're ordering from least to greatest, that 0 will go first. 0.032, and then 2.03, then 3.20. Okay, so that one's pretty easy. The whole numbers were all smallest to greatest there. Now, when we get to number 2, a little bit harder. Okay, we got 0, 0, 0. Okay, so then we got to go to the tenths place. We got 0, 1, 8. Okay, 0 is the smallest, so 0.09, then 0.1, then 0.8. Okay, they tried to throw you off with that 0.09. You have to look at that tenths place before you look at the hundredths place. Okay, so on this next one, it's going to be 4.07, 4.2, and then 4.72. Okay, again, working from left to right. They all have 4s. In the tenths place, 0, 2, 7. There it tells us our order. Okay, now for the number 4, 0, 1, 5. So 0.151, 1.51, and then 5.11. Okay, then again here, 0, 0, 0. Okay, go to the tenths place since they're all zeros. 0, 2, 0. So now we got a 0 in both tenths places when we look at these two values. So, and these are the cases where we need to work to the hundredths place. 1, 0. Okay, so 0.009 is the smallest. Then it's 0.01. And then finally 0.2. Okay, ordering from least to greatest. All right, so today then, okay, multiplying decimal numbers that are less than 1. We're going to use the area model in order to do this. Okay, so we got 0.6 times 0.4. Okay, so vertically, we're going to do that first number, 0.6, or you can write it as 0.60. If you notice, the grid we have is 100 squares. So now we need to shade in 60 of those squares. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, and then horizontally, we're going to put in that 0.4, 0.40. So 40 of those will be shaded. And then from there, we're going to look at how many of the overlap there is, okay, where it's both blue and the stripes. Okay, and if you count, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 12, 18, 24. 24 of them are shaded. Now, since there's 100 squares in the box, okay, that means we're going to the hundredths place. So 0.24 is that answer. Okay, so if we go 0.1 times 0.1, or you can think of it as 0.10 times 0.10, since we're doing this 100 square grid. Okay, so 10 vertically, 10 horizontally, and then again, you're looking for that overlap, which would be right there, which is just one of the 10. Okay, so we're going to do 0.10, or you can say, or sorry, 0.01, because we're going to the hundredths place, and there's only one of them that is shaded. Okay, so apply skills, pause your video, and work on page 30. Now, when we're here, okay, so you're going again and you're shading. Okay, we got 0.10 times 0.20. So I'm going to do red, and I'm just going to use a highlighter. So we got 0.10. So 10 of them will be shaded. And then I'll go ahead and use green for 0.20. Okay, so then again, we're looking for the overlap where it's both blue and green. In that case, that is this right here. Okay, so we got 2 out of 100. Okay, so again, going to the hundredths place, and we need to write 2, so 0.02. Now, if you wrote 0.20, that means 20 of them would be shaded, so that would be incorrect. So be careful when you're doing this. Okay, so 0.5 or 0.50. We're going to shade 50 squares. And then horizontally, we're going to do 60. So 20, 40, and 60. And again, looking for that overlap. It's both blue and green, and that's going to be this box that I create here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And again, hundredths place, since there's 100 squares, so 0.30. Now, if you go ahead and you did this one, you'd end up with 0.07. Okay, and then coming up with the equations given the box. Vertically here, we got number 1, we got 20 of them shaded. Okay, so we can eliminate this one. That says 2 of them would be shaded. And then horizontally, we got 50. Okay, so 50, we're going with B there. Okay, and then, so number 2, vertically, we got 40. So we can eliminate there. That C would be 4 of 1,000 square grid. Okay, and then horizontally, we got 30, not 3, so we can eliminate that one as well. So A. For number 3, it's going to be C. And then finally, for number 4 will be B. So make sure you get those answers while working through your apply skills. Okay, so our problem-solving activity, we're going to analyze direct relationships using scatter plots. Okay, now, what do you know about scatter plots? Okay, direct relationships, okay, occur when 2 variables represented by a scatter plot change in the same way. So when we're saying that, let's look at a specific scatter plot. So income and years of education, okay? If you notice, okay, as we go right, the income becomes larger, okay? And as we're going for years of education, that's going up as well. So if we're looking here, 28, 12, okay? And then our next one is 32, 13. We went up with our income, and we also went up with our years of education. Okay, so that's what it means to be a direct relationship. As your income gets greater, so should the years of education. So as one goes up, the other one goes up. Or it could be a negative direct relationship where we're talking about as one goes down, the other one goes down as well. So the big thing with direct relationships, as one goes up, the other one goes up as well. Okay. Or vice versa, as one goes down, the other one goes down. So page 31. Okay, is there a relationship between the height of the ball and the number of bounces? Verify your answer with examples from the data. So if we go ahead and we go plot all these points, okay, so first off, we got to label and we got to give our scale. So I'm just going to go by ones. And we're going to see this is the number of bounces, meaning the other one will be height of the ball. And that's going to be in terms of inches. Okay, so 1 bounce, we get a height of 67, so we got to do our scale here. So 0, and we're going to go by 10s, or sorry, 5s. So then going and plotting those, making our scatter plot now. 1 bounce, so you get 67. 2 bounces, 60. 3 bounces, 55. 4 bounces, 40. 5 bounces is 35. 6 bounces is 30. 20. 10. 3. And then finally 1. Okay. So, is there a relationship between the height of the ball and the number of bounces? Okay. Yes, there is a relationship. The more bounces, okay, the ball height decreases. Okay, so we talked about direct relationships. The more bounces, so as one goes up, the other goes up. In this case, the bounces go up, but the height decreases. So this is actually a situation where we have an indirect relationship, because as one increased, the other decreased. Okay, so then that's exactly what number 2 is. No, it is an indirect relationship. Due to the bounces, as the bounces went up, the height went down. So that's why it's an indirect. Now, in your own words, describe a direct relationship and how you can tell whether or not a scatter plot represents a direct relationship. Okay, so in a direct relationship, as one goes up, the other goes up. Okay, so that's all there is. Okay, so we looked at the one up here for a direct relationship. As the income increased, so did the number of years of experience. Okay, so that's an example of a direct relationship. Okay, the bouncing of the balls, that was an indirect relationship. All right, so that was lesson 11. Okay, so in your unit 1, you should have your lesson 11 homework as well. Okay, so make sure you are doing that. If you have any questions, make sure you're asking. Other than that, have a good day.